Hello everyone with a new video. In today's video, we will talk about the recently released series of the very popular game. Yes, as you guessed, our topic is The Last of Us. HBO released the first episode of the series the other day. The first positive impressions from many critics and viewers were that the game was not adhered to. But what exactly are these independences of HBO? How are the game series and the series different from each other? We will answer all these questions in our video. As you can imagine, this part of the video contains spoilers about The Last of Us game and the first episode of the series. Therefore, if you haven't watched the first episode of the series, it may be better for you to watch and come back. Players who have played The Last of Us game before may have known many characters from the first episode. Among them, of course, are our lead roles, Ellie and Joel. In addition, the characters Sarah, Tess, Tommy are also shown in the first episode. Get to know the characters of Marlene, the commander of the Fireflies, and Kim, Marlene's right-hand man. Since the first episode of The Last of Us is 85 minutes long, the characters we know do not stop there. In addition to new characters like radio communications officer Abe and Lee, there's also the Feder guard who makes a dangerous deal with Joel. The opening of the Cold series takes place in 1968. The opening opens with two anonymous infectious disease experts and a reporter discussing the possibilities of a global epidemic on a TV show. In The Last of Us, Sarah and Joel's neighbor in Texas was a man named Jimmy Cooper. In the show, her neighbors are Connie and Danny Adler. Connie and her mother Nana succumbed to the virus after being bitten. Before she was bitten, Sarah and Joel appear to have a short conversation with Danny in the morning. One of the different aspects of the game is that the cordyceps virus does not spread through sports. In The Last of Us, the cordyceps virus behind the epidemic infects many people as a result of airborne spores. As a result, a large part of The Last of Us story is based on this virus. In some scenes in the game, the characters naturally wear gas masks. But this is not the case in the show. In the HBO adaptation, the virus is not transmitted by airborne spores. Instead, those who carry the virus infect it with a small plant like ivy. The difference here was to prevent our leading roles, Joel and Ellie, from walking around with gas masks in the series. Joel's daughter Sarah appears in more scenes. In the first episodes of The Last of Us, the actors briefly show us Joel's daughter, Sarah. In the HBO series, the story and resultant co-development and rhythm are followed, but Sarah is shown on stage more. In addition to the time Joel spends at home for his birthday celebration, the watch that Sarah gives to her father is also shown in the series, just like in the game. Unfortunately for Sarah, the story ends just as it did in the game. The HBO series also makes many people sad once again, just like the game. The scene where Sarah was shot is handled with exactly the same intensity, significance, and almost similar dialogue. The series mostly takes place in 2023. In the game, Joel was 32 years old at launch. He was 52 years old when he met Ellie. Pedro Pascal's Joel in the series is 36 and 56 years old, respectively. There are some minor but significant changes in the character of Tommy, played by Gabriel Luna in the HBO series. He is shown visiting Sarah and Joel as something not in the game. In addition, he is imprisoned for having a bar fight with someone thought to be affected by the cordyceps epidemic. He has to go and save him. This happened in the game. The 80s mean trouble. Tommy isn't the only one keeping in touch with Joel. As he explains in the first episode, Bill and Frank send Joel the radio to keep up to date with the latest developments. They do this through encoded messages that certain songs make up of certain encoded messages. The 1960s meant nothing, the 1970s new stock, and the 1980s trouble. Closing credits song of the episode, Depeche Mode's Never Let Me Down Again from the 80s and Outside of QZ, hints that something went wrong with Bill. We have come to the end of our video. I hope you liked the video. If you want the continuation of the series, you can let me know in the comments. Bye bye.